Amir Timur, one of the greatest military commanders in history. He won hundreds of battles, built a vast empire, and shook the entire world. But there is one fact that many people do not know. Amir Timur was also defeated in one battle, and this was not an ordinary defeat. This battle went down in history as the Battle of the Mire. This event took place in the year 1365. At that time, Amir Timur had not yet gained full control over all of Transoxiana. During that period, he was allied with Amir Hussein. Their main rival was Ilyas Khoja. Ilyas Khoja wanted to reclaim Transoxiana. For this reason, he marched south with a large army. Amir Timur and Amir Hussein, in turn, set out with their forces to stop him. At first, this campaign may have seemed like just another typical military expedition for Timur, because Amir Timur was highly skilled in rapid movement, mastered the use of cavalry forces, and maintained strong discipline on the battlefield. But this time, it was not only the enemy that stood against him, nature itself turned against him. On the eve of the battle, heavy rain began to fall. The battlefield gradually turned into thick mud and swamp. The ground became soft. Horses could no longer move as quickly as before. The formation of the army began to break. Movement became difficult. And it was exactly this that changed the entire course of the battle. The battle began. At first, both sides tested each other. At a glance, everything still seemed under control. But as the battle went on, the mud and swamp began to have a serious impact. Timur's greatest advantage, his fast and mobile cavalry attacks, was almost completely neutralized. Normally, Timur's army moved quickly, attacked from the flanks, and defeated the enemy through mobility. But in the mud, almost all of these advantages disappeared. Horses slipped, formations broke apart, orders were delayed. The strength of the attack weakened. At one point in the battle, Timur's forces even seemed to be pushing the enemy back. But then, Ilyas Khoja's army regrouped and launched a counterattack. At the same time, Amir Hussein's side was also in trouble. His flank came under heavy pressure. As a result, coordination between the allied forces collapsed, and this was the turning point of the battle. Amir Timur was defeated in this battle not because of a lack of strength, but because of broken coordination and harsh conditions. This is very important, because Timur's style of warfare relied on speed, discipline, and the mobility of cavalry. But in the mud, most of these strengths became useless. The enemy took full advantage of this weakness. As a result, the forces of Amir Timur and Amir Hussein were forced to retreat with heavy losses. This became one of the most famous and most difficult defeats in Timur's life. Some sources even suggest that the losses in this battle were significant. But the most interesting part is this: the story does not end here. After their victory, Ilyas Khoja's forces marched toward Samarkand. It seemed as though they were close to regaining control over Transoxiana. But then, something unexpected happened. Samarkand did not surrender. The people of the city and its defenders put up strong resistance. Things did not go as easily as the enemy had expected. Some sources also mention that problems began within the enemy army, including disease spreading among the horses. As a result, Ilyas Khoja was unable to continue the campaign and was forced to retreat. So even though Amir Timur was defeated in the Battle of the Mire, this defeat did not end his journey. On the contrary, not long after, he regained strength, re-established political control, and eventually built one of the most powerful empires in history. That is why the Battle of the Mire is not just a defeat, it shows us something important. Even the greatest commanders are sometimes defeated not by their enemies, but by circumstances. And perhaps that is exactly why Amir Timur later became more cautious, more experienced, and even more formidable as a ruler. So, sometimes the greatest victories begin after the hardest defeats. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to the channel.